On the mood to hear hot takes about the mass slaughter of elementary school children. Save that shit. Please try to at least pretend you have a soul. This guy literally is a theocratic fascist, dude. How fucking sick. NRA, NPR, NRA called members hillbillies and fruitcakes.
Days after the Columbine High School shooting, talking about canceling their annual convention scheduled days later nearby in Denver.
Remember, when people fucking say, hey, will the NRA actually continue on with their Texas, with their designated Texas convention? Remember that they didn't fucking cancel it after the Columbine shooting. And that was like a big deal back then because it wasn't something that was in our, colloquial, cultural understanding of like something that happens all the time. It wasn't like as commonplace. Now we know, it's such a fucking meme that like British people make fun of us when they say at least our schools are not fucking shooting galleries. You know what I mean? That was like the first time. It didn't happen like once a week. and Oh, here it is. Code of Vets. There you go. I fucking called it. Pray for the victims, families, and community. The killer, Salvador Ramos, was 18 years old. Did he cross the border illegally? Look at that. It's coming in already. They're already using this to say it's like fucking, a problem with undocumented immigrants. Oh, my fucking Lord. Just wait. It's going to get so much fucking worse, okay? Just fucking wait.
Tim Mack, who obtained the tapes of the private meetings. Columbine was at the time one of the worst mass shootings
illegal border crossing
site with 12 students and 1 teacher killed. Here is the NRA's top lobbyist at the time addressing the dilemma that the organization faced.
At the same period where they're going to be burying these children, we're going to be having media within 10 miles of our convention center, the world's media, trying to run through the exhibit hall looking at kids fondling firearms, which is going to be a horrible, horrible, horrible juxtaposition.
The NRA leaders can also be heard disparaging some of their own members, the hardline gun activists.
The other problem is holding a member meeting without an exhibit hall. The people you are most likely to get in that member meeting without an exhibit hall are the nuts. That's right. That made that point earlier. I agree. The fruitcakes are going to show up.
You're going to have the wackos with all kinds of crazy resolutions, with all kinds of dressing like a bunch of hillbillies and idiots.
CNN reached out to the NRA and the people in those recordings that you just heard. We have not heard back. Joining me now is the reporter who obtained those tapes, NPR's Tim Mack. His new book is called Misfire: Inside the Downfall of the NRA. I wonder, Tim, if you're a dues paying, I'm just not saying you are, but if someone is a dues paying member of the NRA and they hear that kind of talk from the leadership, wackos, hillbillies, idiots, how do they feel about that?
I imagine they're not feeling great about listening to those sounds. I mean, the NRA has always had an issue with some of its most passionate members also having more ideological views. But here you have, for the first time, you can kind of enter the room and hear what some of the executives and officials of this organization really think about those members behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's fascinating, really. Just clearly they thought no one would ever hear this. Can you tell us how the NRA is responding and also how NPR authenticated the tapes?
Yeah, so one of the ways we were able to authenticate the tapes were we checked with multiple sources about the identities of the tapes, as well as listening.
For the record, they still feel this level of disdain for the fucking working class American hillbillies, okay? It's like, it's rich motherfuckers in suits that literally just manipulate all of these fucking hogs. Remember that. At least I have the decency to call you a fucking hog straight to your goddamn face. These motherfuckers sell you shit and put on a fucking vest, a denim vest, and come into your town and say, yee, brother, we love shooting guns, don't we? Come on. And they whip you up in a fucking frenzy. And you think like they're different. You think that they are, like you. They don't give a fuck about you. Go and kill all of yourself. You can kill everyone in your fucking neighborhood. They don't give a shit as long as it, impacts the bottom line of gun manufacturers in a positive way.
To publicly available audio to check against the sounds. And of course, we reached out to all the players on the tape as well as the NRA for a response.
They didn't deny that it was them.
We did not provide them with the original audio. We provided them with transcripts of the audio.
Okay, so I want to listen to, there's more, right? So let's listen to this. This is the internal deliberations about whether to cancel the NRA convention in the wake of Columbine.
I got to tell you, we got to think this thing through, because if we duck tail and run, we're going to be accepting responsibility for what happened out there.
That's one very good argument, Jim. On the other side, if you don't appear to be deferential in honoring the dead, you end up being a tremendous head who wouldn't tuck tail and run.
What actually strikes me here, having covered now school shootings, is that back then there was actually a debate.
Bro, they didn't know. They didn't know that school shootings were so good for gun sales. That's the thing. When they found out, this is how you make even more money. You know, this is before they realize this is the kind of their bread and butter. They're super active in this in situations like this. For that reason now, oh, the Democrats are coming after your guns. Dude, guys. To all of my international watchers that are tuning in right now, trying to comprehend what the fuck is going on in America. Oh my God, another mass shooting that happened. Let me describe something to you. Under the wonderful leadership of Donald J. Trump, when the Parkland school shooting happened in Florida, what kind of legislation was pushed through in the state of Florida, you think? Was it gun control? Was it, I don't know, banning a specific kind of like high-powered assault, long-barrel assault rifle? Was it even a conversation that revolved around gun control at all? Like, maybe lowering the amount of guns on the streets? Of course not. The only measure that passed in the state of Florida in the aftermath of the Parkland shooting was a pilot program that actually gave teachers a financial incentive in the tune of $500 so that they would arm themselves and learn how to fucking use guns. They armed the teachers after Parkland. At a time when you literally cannot even fucking get money to pay for school supplies. When teachers in the state of Florida were paying out of pocket for school supplies, Florida found a way to give them $500 extra immediately, as long as they went and purchased a gun. That's America. The only fucking place where the problem is made worse.
Well, what's so interesting about this tape is you can see in real time the NRA's leadership making these decisions and trying to figure out what their strategy is going to be after Columbine. And that has echoes for years and years to come in the other shootings that happen. What you hear in these tapes and what you read in my book Misfire is what really happened behind the scenes in NRA headquarters as the decline of the NRA begins.
Yeah, in your book is fascinating, by the way. I also want to listen to something else from these tapes where they're talking about the potential for a victims fund in the wake of Columbine.
Is there something concrete that we can offer, not because guns are responsible, but because we care about these people? Is there anything, does that look crass or...
Like a victims fund, or
we create a victims fund and we give a victim $1 million or something like that. Does that look bad, or does it look...
Well, I mean, that can be twisted, too. I mean, why are you giving money? You feel responsible?
Well, you're true. It can be twisted, but we feel sympathetic and respectful.
You mentioned this sets the scene for how the NRA deals with things in the wake of these mass shootings for years to come. In the end, the NRA really turns away from any sort of balanced approach, or even really considering a balanced approach as we go into Sandy Hook and other shootings.
Yeah, you hear them talking about a victims fund here. That's certainly not the approach they end up taking. It's a softer tone, but they end up going with a more defiant one in which they want to make sure that they don't even have the appearance of responsibility for anything related to these shootings. So they feel that if they were to cancel their convention or make some concession in some way,
This CNN video is from November 10th, 2021.
that they'll be admitting some sort of complicity in shootings like this. So they end up pushing a much harder line, one in which they.
Teachers having guns sounds like a necessary bandage for the time being if we can't get real gun control. No, dude, you are so fucking dumb and American. It's awesome. You're literally just the average American dumbass, dude. What necessary bandage, you fucking idiot? Even in Parkland, there was literally a cop there. He didn't do shit. It's not a Band-Aid. It makes it... No, it's like chopping off your arm because you got a little boo-boo on your finger, okay? That's what that is. How fucking demented are Americans, dude? How fucking insane are Americans? Now I feel bad because he has a cute fucking PFP. God damn it. There's an abundance of gun crime. Let's add more.
Criticize the media and say, hey, if you're discussing gun legislation after a shooting, that's an inappropriate politicization of the issue. This becomes a big pattern in the years to come.
And again, the NRA spokesperson, you provided transcripts, and their response was?
Their response was that they thought that this was a quote-unquote hit piece.
It's their words, I will say, Tim, and I really appreciate you sharing them with us. Tim.
Mystery tapes of us being fucking animals. Damn, the menopause mood swings are hitting you hard now? Yeah, dude, I have menopause.